I probably eat better than like any of my friends. I, am really conscious of like my movement and things, but I feel like my body doesn't like represent that. And so I'm like, and at some points, like even in this last 2 months, I'm like, I'm just gonna like eat the cake. I'm gonna eat like, because I like, I've done where I've like not done that, and I eat the salmon and I have stir fry for breakfast and all that. And like, I don't know, I feel like it's not making a difference. So like knowing that I am being conscious and it's helping me be optimal. That's like really it. Like if I'm going to do all these things, if I'm going to like be thinking about it and everything else, like let it like produce the best Mia.
So I have adenomyosis. And so I know that it's very similar to endometriosis. So I figured that I forgot how I found Kush somehow on Instagram or something like that. And we had a, introductory call. And she convinced me to join. And so I think I was looking for a lot of accountability. I had read all the things, knew all the things that I should be doing. So it wasn't unfamiliar, but I just needed someone to help me like remember to do the things that like are why I wanted to do the things so that I can feel better. And so, thinking back then, I think I joined in January. And so I was ripping and running, thought I was doing all the things that I was supposed to be doing, but I think I was doing too much exercise, but too much, like not saying no to the things that didn't serve me, too much of everything, too much, supplements that I had no business taking, too much, like it was always too much. But not the right things. And so the program kind of helped me to kind of simplify and kind of like scale back to the basics so that I could like figure out, build what it is that I needed for me. And I think the program was really helpful in doing that. Throughout, probably like right smack dab in the middle of the program, I was able to get my Dutch test results, which really just put on paper like things that were going on in my body that I could feel, but didn't really have any data to support it. Yeah. And so that was, I think, eye-opening for me to see, like, you're not doing well. Like you are like sustaining yourself so that you can move throughout your day, but you're not thriving. And I want to, I really want to thrive through the group calls, weekly. And it was, important for me to like make sure that when I could come, I did. And I think I made a good majority of them. I think I told Farah that like, I didn't really want to do the group coaching thing, but I think it was really helpful. It was really beneficial to hear other women's stories and kind of, I've gotten tips, even things that weren't specifically for me, but, so after meeting with Kush and Farah, specifically on my own after the test results, we really built a plan with supplements that I like really needed. And it's so funny. Like, I think I was taking the most complicated ones ever before the program. And like now it's like, very simple, but they are very, very, very helpful for me. And, I've been on them. Yeah, the right ones. And I've been on them for 2 months now. And I can, completely see a big difference in my inflammation. My periods have had 2 cycles since, kind of a reset. And they've been, as good as they could be for me. I'm probably right now, maybe 3 or 4 days away from my period. And with adenomyosis, I can tell like when I'm about to be on my period, like it's not a game. Like but I can still function. Like when I looked at the calendar, I was like, oh, like I'm gonna get my period in 2 or 3 days and I feel fine. Like I don't feel like I have to drag myself. I can still function. And not because I'm pushing my way through, but like I am physically capable of, maintaining
inner energy.
Yes. It's absolutely natural. Like I can feel it. Like at my rhythms, I'm up in the morning, I'm sleepy at night. I get up just fine. I'm not waking up.
And you wake up early and you have a big work day.
Right. And I'm fine. I have enough energy to keep me through the day. But I also like, remember to ask myself, do I have to do this right now? Like, do I want to run to this yoga class? Or maybe I just go take a walk because that will be better for me, like mentally, to just like not have to rush and get to and do the things, even though it will be great for my body. But those are things that I've started to ask myself throughout this time. So it's been helpful. It's, I have really, sugar was like my thing, and it still is something that I'm like, cookies, cake, and pies.
Yeah.
But it's been helpful to really just say, do I really need that? Do I want to feel like that? Because I do feel really great right now. So asking those questions before I like jump off and into the deep end of like cookies and cakes and pies. Last weekend, I think I had some cookies that hadn't really had like big pieces of sugar in a long time. And I felt like, and I didn't feel bad. Like I didn't feel like, oh my God, like I'm so sad that I did, but I physically didn't feel great. And I was like, I don't really like, this wasn't really worth it. It really wasn't worth it. And so I moved on and like, it's not a big deal.
You have a self-awareness now of choices. You have freedom to make the choices that you want to make.
Right. So it's really, I am pleasantly surprised at how this has rounded out. Because I would have something like as close to like labor pains for my cramps. And this time it's like uncomfortable. For the last 2 cycles, it's not like, it's pretty notable for me for my cramps. So it's been great with that. That's a big deal for me because it would mean that for 2 or 3 days, I couldn't like think about doing anything because I need to make sure I was like near somewhere I could lay down because I need to breathe for like all this pain for like 48 hours. So I'm able to function, move, work, and no problem. And that's a big deal. And the energy, I'm generally super cold, not enough, like I can tell the difference in my like circulation in my whole body because of the things that I'm like nourishing it with on a consistent basis now. And I notice when those things are missing. I notice when I'm not eating enough greens. Like I notice when I'm not eating enough warm things. Like I notice those things and I have tools now. Like I have like things to access back. I have recipes to go to. It's been really a really great experience.